Assalamu alaikum my sisters and brothers in Islam, welcome back to my channel. In the depths of Islamic eschatology, there exists a figure who is often depicted as the greatest deceiver, a symbol of ultimate evil. This figure is known as the Dajjal, the one-eyed liar. His arrival, according to Islamic tradition, will be one of the greatest trials humanity has ever faced. The Dajjal is not merely a character in a tale, his emergence is a prophecy, a warning, and a test of faith. But who is the Dajjal? What does he represent? What does his appearance look like, and how will he deceive the masses? And most importantly, who will defeat him? In this video, we embark on an exhaustive journey into the concept of Dajjal. We will explore his description, the signs that herald his coming, the actions he will take, and the ultimate victory of good over evil. Join us as we uncover the details about this significant figure in Islamic eschatology. Segment 1. Who is the Dajjal? The word, Dajjal, comes from the Arabic root, dajjala, which means, to cover or conceal. The Dajjal, therefore, is the great deceiver, one who will hide the truth and mislead the masses. In Islamic tradition, he is a man who will claim to be a god, a false messiah, in the final days before the Day of Judgment. The Quran does not directly mention the Dajjal by name. However, there are several verses that allude to the concept of great trials and deception in the final days, which are associated with him. Instead, the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, described the Dajjal in many hadiths with great detail. In one famous hadith, the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, is reported to have said, "There is no trial more severe than the Dajjal from the time of Adam until the hour arrives." Sahih Muslim. This illustrates the immense significance of the Dajjal and the trials he will bring to the world. In Islamic eschatology, the Dajjal is not just an ordinary man. He is a symbol of deception, a force that will test the faith of believers in unprecedented ways. He is a trial that will separate the believers from the disbelievers. The physical appearance of the Dajjal. Now, let's delve into the physical description of the Dajjal, as reported in the hadiths of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. The Dajjal's appearance is one of the most striking features that distinguish him. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, described the Dajjal as being a man of great physical stature. He is neither extraordinarily tall nor short, but has a very distinctive feature: he is one-eyed. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, "The Dajjal is blind in one eye, and his other eye looks like a floating grape." Sahih Muslim. This gives us a clear and frightening image of the Dajjal. This one-eyed feature is symbolic in many ways. It emphasizes the Dajjal's inability to see the truth and his distorted vision of the world. It also represents his falsehood, as he will claim to be divine, despite being imperfect in his very nature. In addition to his blindness, the Dajjal's forehead is another notable characteristic. It is said that on his forehead, the word, kafir, meaning, disbeliever, will be written. This mark will be visible to all believers, as the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, "Every believer will be able to read the word kafir on his forehead, whether he is literate or not." Sahih Muslim. The Dajjal will also possess supernatural abilities. These powers, combined with his physical traits, will make him an incredibly dangerous figure who will deceive many people. The signs of Dajjal's coming. Before the Dajjal's appearance, there will be several signs, major and minor, that will prepare the world for his arrival. These signs are part of the larger framework of events leading to the Day of Judgment. Let's begin with some of the minor signs, which include the rise of false prophets and a general moral decay in society. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, warned of a time when there would be a proliferation of falsehood and a weakening of true faith. One of the most significant signs that will precede the arrival of the Dajjal is the appearance of the Mahdi. The Mahdi is a righteous leader who will unite the Muslim world and prepare the way for the return of Isa, Jesus, and the defeat of the Dajjal. The major signs are even more dramatic. A great famine will occur, wars will ravage the earth, and corruption will spread everywhere. People will be so desperate that many will fall under the influence of the Dajjal. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, mentioned that the Dajjal will emerge from the east, from a region known as Khorasan, modern-day Iran or Afghanistan, and will begin his mission of deception. The Dajjal will travel the world in a very short time, causing chaos everywhere he goes. His arrival will be preceded by a period of widespread turmoil, as society faces great hardship. What will the Dajjal do? Once the Dajjal arrives, he will begin his mission of deception. His first act will be to claim divinity, declaring himself to be God. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, warned that the Dajjal would attempt to perform miracles to convince people of his divinity. He will call down fire and rain, control resources, and even bring people back to life to prove his power. He will possess the ability to make the dead appear to rise, and his followers will be those who are easily swayed by material wealth and temporary solutions to their suffering. He will promise them riches and rewards in return for their loyalty. The Dajjal's greatest weapon is his power of deception. He will show people what they desire to see: abundance, miracles, and solutions to their problems, all while leading them away from the truth. One of the most critical aspects of his deception is his control over the earth's resources. The Dajjal will have the ability to cause droughts, famine, and then provide food and water to his followers, convincing them that he is the source of their salvation. Who will defeat the Dajjal? Despite the immense power of the Dajjal, his reign will be short-lived. He will be defeated by none other than Isa, Jesus, who will return to earth in the final days to confront and kill the Dajjal. The Mahdi will appear first, leading the forces of good against the Dajjal. But it is Isa, Jesus, who will bring an end to the Dajjal's reign of terror. According to the Hadith, when Isa sees the Dajjal, he will pursue him, and the Dajjal will begin to melt like salt in water. The final confrontation will be one of the most significant battles in Islamic eschatology, and it will mark the end of the Dajjal's deception. With his death, peace will return to the earth, and justice will prevail. Theological and symbolic interpretation. While the Dajjal's physical appearance and actions are terrifying, there is a deeper symbolic message within this story. The Dajjal represents the ultimate test of faith, a figure who will challenge believers to remain steadfast in their devotion to God and resist the temptations of the world. In today's world, many people look at the Dajjal as a symbol of materialism, deception, and the manipulation of the masses. His story serves as a reminder to be cautious of false promises and the pursuit of power, wealth, and glory at the expense of faith. The arrival of the Dajjal is one of the greatest trials of the end times. He represents a force of deception and evil, but his reign will ultimately be defeated by the return of Isa, Jesus. Until that time, believers are called to remain vigilant, to protect their faith, and to recognize the signs that precede his coming. As we conclude this journey, let us reflect on the lessons of the Dajjal, the importance of standing firm in our beliefs, the dangers of falsehood, and the ultimate victory of truth over deception. Thank you for joining us in this exploration of the Dajjal. May we all remain guided on the path of truth and faith, and may we recognize the signs that lead us toward righteousness. That's all for now. Hope you like this video. If you seen this video insightful, please do like, share and subscribe my channel. Stay tuned for more. Allah Hafiz.